Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kama mnavyoona leo tutafanya hii paper Brightpoint publishers ya maths only today. So let us start the session. Any blue, red. Now for the first question umeuliza what is 9990909. So he written in words, right? Again, also this one you need to do, okay. So hii itakuwa 99,909,009. Okay, ukiona vizuri 999,009,009. So this is 99 million, okay, 909,009. So it gives you 99,909,009. That is your answer. So 99,909,009. Question 2. Question 2. Let's go to this. Question 2. What is 2 over 3, 5 over 12, 1 over 8, 4 over 5 arranged in descending order? So 2 over 3, 5 over 12, or 1 over 8, and 4 over 5. Imezeka kando kando. Let me push this more to the right and this one as well. So 1 over 8, and this is 4 over 5, arranged in descending order. So ukiangalia hapa, what is the common thing that 3, 12, 8, and 4 have? So think of a number that you can multiply to give the same denominator all throughout. Or you can find for the LCM of the four of them, 3, 12, 8, and 5. And that is divided by 2, 6, 4, 5, 3, divided by 2, 3, 2, 5, 3, divided by 2, 1, find 3, 3, 2, okay. And then we have 5, then divide by 3, 1, 1, 1, and 5, and then divide by 5, you'll get 1, 1, 1 all throughout. So your LCM is supposed to be 2 power 4, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, then times 3 times 5. Now 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, times 3 times 5. Now 16 times 3 is 48, 48 times 5 is giving you 240. Okay, so at the end of the day upate the same denominator. The same denominator. Let's say for you to get 240 at the denominator, what do you multiply to 3? You multiply to 80. Also multiply to 80. For you to get 240 here, you multiply to 20. Multiply to 20. For you to get 240 as well. From 8, you multiply to 30. Multiply to 30. And here you multiply to how much is it? 40. Yeah, multiply to 40. No, it's supposed to be 240 divided by 5, 48. 48, 48. Now let's do that. So for 2 over 3, for you to get 240 at the denominator, you multiply to 80, 80, and you get a 160 divided by 240. For 5 over 12, let's say you multiply to 20, 20, you get 100 over 240. For you to get about 1 over 8 times 30 times 30, you get 30 over 240. And then we have 1 over 8 times 30 times 30, you get 30 over 240. And then we have 4 over 5 times 48, and you get 48 times 492 over 240. Okay, 48 times 5, yeah. So starting arranging descending order, that is from the largest to the smallest. Largest to the smallest. The largest being 192, which is 405. So yeah, 405, comma, then followed by the second. Why am I writing 1/8 2 times? I don't know why, but I think, yeah, second one of them is 160/240, which is around 2/3, then followed by 5/12 because of 100/240, and last but not least is 1/8. That is the answer. So for 5, 2/3, 5/12, 1/5. Now let's go to the third question. Now for question 3, a cylindrical container has a radius of 7 meters. 7 meters. Okay, a radius of 7 meters and a height of 20 meters. How many liters of oil can it hold when full? How many liters of oil can it hold when full? So volume is equal to pi r squared height. So your pi being 22/7, find the volume, find it in form of cubic meters. Pi r squared height, pi being 22/7 times r, which is 7 squared times height. Okay, 7 squared can be written as 7 times 7 times 20. Okay, and 7 goes with 7 here, so 22 times 7 times 20, and it will give you 3080 cubic meters. But we know that for every 1 cubic meter we have 1,000 liters, so let's change it into liters. So what about 3080 cubic meter? And therefore you take 3080 times 1,000 to give you 3080, and 3 zeros, that is, so 3,080,000 liters. So the answer to this question is this. Question 4. Let's go to question 4 now. Now for question 4, the figure represents a piece of land, which is this one. Okay, and this is your radius, 70 meters. This is 100 meters. This is 100 meters. This is 100 meters. And what distance will be covered if one was to walk 2.5 times around it? Okay, 2.5 times. So you need to find the distance or the perimeter throughout, but we want to be calculating this part. This part is hidden lines, and therefore we want to be calculating this part. We will calculate only this, and this. Okay, now let's calculate this part here. And how do you find this part? This is length of an arc that is semicircle. So length of that arc is given by 1/2 pi d. So 1/2 times pi, which is 22/7, times your diameter being 70, by 2 1 by 2 11 by 7 1 by 7 10 gives you 110. But also remember, this one is also the same length. So this one will also give you 110 because the radius, the diameter is much likely the same. So this is 110, this is 110. So now let's find the perimeter throughout. 110 plus 100 plus 110 plus 100. So the perimeter to that will give you 110 plus 100 plus 110 plus 100. It's going to give you 420 meters. Okay, going to give you 420 meters. That is if you walked 1 times. So if you walked one times, it gives you 420 meters. They're asking you 2.5 times. So what about 2.5? So you take 2.5 times 1 rotation or 1 revolution times 420. So 2.5 is written as 5/2 as a improper fraction times 420, or if you want, you can write as 2.5 times 420. It's up to you, and use your calculator, and you get 1050 meters. If you use 5/2 by 2, 1 by 2, 210, and 210 times 5 is going to give you also 1050. So yeah, that is your answer to this question. Let's go to question 5. Let me increase it a bit so that you guys can able to see it. So now this is question 5. Now for question 5, given that A is equal to 286944517, which one among the following represents, okay, let me represent A32. So 286944517. So yeah, you have A32. A32 means third row but second column. So third row, second column, because this represents for row, this represents for column. So which number is in the third row? Let's see. First row, second row, third row. That is not row, sorry, that's column. This is first row, second row, third row, but second column. This is first column, second column. So which one is this? Is this one. So yeah, your answer should be 1, because 1 is in the third row, second column. So question 6. Question 6 was the product of LCM and HCF of the numbers 10, 20, and 40. Now let's find for the LCM first, and then we're going to find the HCF. The HCF is also called as GCD. So let's find the LCM of 10, 20, and 40. Okay. Using the box method, many of the students know this. 10 divided by 2 gives you 5, 20 divided by 2, 10, 40 divided by 2 is 20. Then divide by 2 once more gives you 5, 5, and 10. Then divide by 2 again to give you 5, 5, and 5. Then divide by 5 to give you 5, 1, 1, and 1. So LCM is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, which is 2 cubed times 5, 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 5 is 40. So LCM is 40. What about GCD? Right. Then GCD, how much will be your GCD? That is why I'll use just this tiny bit. So the GCD, let me just use this tiny bit here. 10, 20, 50. Now you divide by 2, obviously. This 50, no, this is 40. So it's supposed to be 40. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Hapa itakupa 5, 10, na hapa itakupa 20. Na huwezi kudivide na 2 kwa sababu ya 5. And this is GCD. Lazima each number huwezi kudivide by a similar number. And that is 5 only. So it gives you 1, this gives you 2, and this gives you 10, if I'm not wrong. 10 divided by 2, 5. Okay. Now, I think that is all. So the GCD is supposed to be 2 times 5, which is 10. And they're telling you the product. So the product of the LCM and the GCD, the product is supposed to be this. Yeah. The product of LCM and GCD, which is 40 times 10, to be 400. So question 6, that is done. Question 7, find the size of the angle marked W in the figure below. So yeah, so this is 70, this is 35, this is W. Now let's search for those. So again, okay, what do you do? Let's find out for this angle. How do you find out for this angle? Obviously, angles in a triangle add up to 180. So let's take 35 plus 70. It gives you 105. Then subtract it from 180. 180 minus 105 is going to give you 75. So yeah, so your 75 degrees is this angle right here. Now since this is Z, okay, whichever angle that you have here will just be similar to this. So, and therefore, if this is 75, this is also 75 degrees. They're alternating angles. So yeah, because they are parallel, the lines are parallel. So that is going to be 75 solved. Now let's go to question 8. Now question 8 solves the following simultaneous equations. 2x plus 3y is equal to 12. We also have x minus y is equal to 1. Okay, so let's find the value of x and the value of y. So now this is equation 1, equation 2. They're not similar. Let's make them similar. So the coefficient for x here is 1. So let's multiply. So kama kawaida hii 2, this 2 tutaileta hapa chini, this 1 tutaileta hapa juu. So 1 times 2x is going to give you 2x. 1 times 3y is 3y. 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 2x is 2x. 2 times negative y is negative 2y. 1 times 2 is 2. Now let's subtract. So 2 times 1, 2. 2 times negative 1, negative 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Let's subtract because same signs subtract. So 2x minus 2x is 0. 3y minus negative 2y supposed to be 3y plus 2y, which is 5y. So this is supposed to give you 5y equal to 12 minus 2 to be 10. So divide by 5, and therefore y is equal to 2. So that's one answer. The second answer, you can take any. Let me take x minus y. Take any of the equation, x minus y equal to 1. Take x minus y equal to 1. Now when y is equal to 2, so where there's y, you replace with 2. It's going to be x minus 2 equal to 1. Minus 2 shifted to the other side. X is equal to 1 plus 2. And therefore x is going to be equal to 3. So yeah, very easy. So y equal to 2 and x equal to 3. So that's your answer. So yeah, let's try question 9. Now, question 9, a farmer harvested 10 tons of maize. He used 3,500 kilograms on food and 2,000 kilograms to neighbors and sold the rest. So 10 tons. Let's convert the 10 tons to kgs. We know that 1 ton is equal to 1,000 kilograms. So what about 10 tons? So 10 tons is going to be 10 multiplied to 1,000 kg to give you 10 million kgs. Okay, so he harvested that. Now he used 3,500 on food and 2,000 kg, that is both of them are kgs, to neighbors. Okay, he donated them to neighbors. So at the end of the day, he used around, like, if you add the two, 5,500 kg and sold the rest. Now you need to find out how much he sold. So you take 10,000 kg minus 5,500 kg to find the rest that he sold. 10,000 minus 5,500 is going to give you 4,500 kgs, and that is not your answer, but because they're telling you in terms of tons, so divide by 1,000 to change it in terms of tons. So it's going to be 4.5 tons. Okay, so this is your answer. Question 10. Question 10. At the beginning of the year 2015, there were 1,010 boys. We had 1,010 boys. and 1,224 girls, okay, in a certain institution, a certain school. At the end of the year, 125 boys and 141 girls transferred. Okay, so 125 transferred to another school, and 141 also transferred to another school. So if you take 1010 minus 125 who transferred, how many will remain? So 885 will remain, 885 boys. And about this, 1224 minus 141 remain with 1083 girls. So left. So in the year 2016, again, 115 boys. So in 2016, there was 885 boys remain there. So, and then we had 1083 girls. Now again, some left. So 115 boys again left, and then also girls, 84 girls left. So 885 minus 115 is going to give you 770 boys. Okay. If you subtract to that, also on 1083 minus 84 girls, then 999 girls left at the end of the year. So the question is asking you what was the population of the school by the end of the year 2016. So it takes 770 number of boys plus number of girls, 999. How much will it give us? Gives us 1,769 total. So that is your answer. Now, question 11. Question 11, which is this one. Monica, let me zoom in a little bit. Now that is enough. Monica bought 4 kilograms of maize. Question 11. Monica bought 4 kilograms of maize at M shillings each. And wait, this question. M shillings each, and 3 kilograms of rice at R shillings each. She spent at least 700 shillings by buying both maize, flour, and rice. Which of the following inequalities represent the information? So 4 kilograms of maize at M shillings, so it's going to cost 4 M shillings, and 3 kilograms of rice at R shillings, so it's going to cost 3R. So the total is going to be 4M plus R. So at least 700 shillings means is either getting an amount which is greater or equivalent to 700. At least yamaanisha hivyo, yani the least cost should be 700, but it shouldn't be below, but it can be above it. So this is your answer. Now if I look at the marking scheme, I don't see. Most probably I think is B ikiwa na hii. Okay, question 12. That is question 11. Let's go to question 12. Question 12, the length of the minute hand of a wall. So let's say this is your clock. The minute hand is normally big. Our hand is very, very small. So the minute hand is 42 centimeter. Okay, I might have drawn it very small. So this is 42 centimeter. A remedial lesson in the school lasts for 40 minutes. So it usually takes 40 minutes. A whole remedial lesson, that is if you start your 0 minutes here, so 40 minutes supposed to be around here. So the whole thing is 40 minutes. Okay, so that is 40 minutes. Is it correct? Yep, it's 40 minutes. So till here is 40 minutes. Now we need to find the degree to this. Now for every 1 minute that they usually take, because 60 minutes is equivalent to 360 degrees. So 40 minutes would be equivalent to how many degrees? 360 degrees is equivalent to 60 minutes. So you just take 40 times 360 divided by 60. So by 61 by 66, 40 times 6 is going to give you 240 degrees. That is 240 degrees down. So that That is the angle. So how long does the tip of the minute hand move in 1 lesson? Okay, so the angle is 240, the distance or the radius is 42 meters. So how long does the tip? So this one is asking you to find for this arc, length of an arc, this one. Okay, so let's find out the length of this arc, which is given by obviously theta over 360 times 2 pi r. Now we know our theta is 240 degrees divided by 360 times 2 times 22 over 7 times radius, which is 42 meters. So by 7.1 by 7.6, or you can do everything to 40 over 360 times 2 times 22 times 6. Okay, let's see how much our answer is. Times 2 times is going to give us 176 meters. And that is the answer. How long does the tip of the minute hand move in one lesson? So it gives you 176 centimeter. So that is supposed to be centimeter. I just wrote it meters, but it's supposed to be centimeters. So that's the answer to this question. Now let's go to question 13. Question 13, which is this: Mutemi deposited 6,000 shillings in a savings account. Okay, in a savings institution. So deposits. That earns a simple interest at the rate of 9%. So the rate is 9% per annum. Okay, how much money altogether does he have in his account at the end of the 3 years? Okay, so at the end, the number period is 3 years. So now for us to get interest, we say use PRT over 100. That is principal times rate times time over 100. So our N, say this is our T basically. So P is 6,000 shillings. Our deposit times the rate, which is 9% times 3 divided by 100. So let's see how much it gives us. 6,000 times 9 times 3 divided by 100, which gives us 1,620. So that is the interest. But now the question is asking you about how much money does he have all together in his account. So how much money does he have all together in his account at the end of the 3 years? So yeah, so for you to get the amount, you take principal plus your interest. So for now, your principal is 60,000 because you deposit this amount plus the interest, which is 1,620, is going to give you 61,000. Is it that really? No, sorry. I thought it was 6,000, but it's supposed to be 60,000. So this one here, I'm very wrong. So it's supposed to be 60,000. That's what I was wondering. 60,000 times 9 times 3 over 100 is going to give us 16,200. So obviously this, our interest 16,200. If you take 60,000 plus 16,200 is going to give us 76,200 Kenyan shillings. If they were using compound interest, most probably your answer would be in somewhere here. But for now, they're not using compound interest, they're using simple interest. Now let's go to question 14. Question 14. An artisan made a road sign post in the shape of a regular pentagon. A pentagon has how many sides? It has 5 sides. Okay. What is the sum of its interior angles? Now, sum of interior angles given by 180 into bracket n minus 2. So 180 into bracket n minus 2, which is 5 minus 2. 180 times 5 minus 2, which is 3. 180 times 3 is going to give you 540. 540 degrees. So that is your answer. Very simple. Now, Kevova has a cube whose volume, that is question 15, has a cube whose volume is 91.125 cubic centimeter. Using mathematical tables, determine the length of one side of this cube. So you know that volume is equal to s cubed. So if you were to search for s or one of the side, you just cube root the volume. So for now, we'd cube root 91.125. Now let's go to the math table. Now let's go to the math table, which is this one. Okay, so we were searching for the cube root of, here, the cube root of 91.125. Now you look at the answers, you don't look at this part. Okay, now let me show you. Don't look at this part, just look at the answers. So you search for 91.125. Okay, let me use a razor for now. Okay, also 91.125. Let's start from the beginning so that you don't get confused. So you start from here, this one, you go down until you get 91.125, which now we are here till here. That is at least very close, but still it has passed. So still you'll finish it here, and then you go more to the right, mpaka upate 91.1 somewhere. So ukiona 91.12 somewhere is here, but basically it should be to 4 significant figures. So 91.125 is rounded off to 91.13. So most probably itakuwa hapa, so somewhere here. So 91.13 is 4.50. Hii section ni 0. So or waweza panda juu, sorry, hii section ni 0. So 4.50. 4.50. So yeah, so that is your answer to this question. Question 16. In the laws of indices, an expression can be written as 3 to the power of 2m times 2 to the power of 2n is equal to 72. What's the value of m and n? Right. So yeah, what's the value of m and n? Very, very easy. Now 72. Let's go to the 72 part and draw the factor tree. So 72 divided by 2 gives you 36. Then divide by 2 gives you 18. Then divide by 2 gives you 9. And then divide by 3 and 3, which gives you this way. So this is going to give you 2 cubed times 3 squared. So yeah, so it's supposed to give you something like this. Now, once you get there or to this position, so basically you take, okay, let's write it as like this, 3 to the power of 2 times 2 cubed. So let's write it, 3 to the power of 2m times 2 to the power of 2n is equal to 3 squared times 2 cubed. Now we know that this is this, so 3 to the power of 2m is equal to 3 to the power of 2. And since the bases are the same, you'll just equate the powers, and therefore you say 2m is equal to 2 divided by 2 divided by 2, m is equal to 1. That's done. The other one is 2 to the power of 2n, which is equal to 2 to the power of 3. We say that 2n is equal to 3 divided by 2 divided by 2. N is therefore equal to 3 over 2, or 1.5. Those are the value of the answers. 3 over 2 can be written as 1.5 or 1.5. So m is equal to 1, n is equal to 1.5. Good, correct. Now let's go to the other question, question 17. I think I did something. Did I? Let me do this. Yep. I think that is done. Now let's go to question 17. Now Mutiso picked the cards shown from a card box which pair represents integers. Now this is an integer, this is not, because it has a fraction. This is an integer. Integers are whole numbers, either positive or negative. This is not, and this is not. Okay, so the only integer that we have is -7 and 16. I think that is easy. Let's go to question 18. The temperature of milk in a container was plus 26 degrees Celsius, and then the milk was heated and the temperature rose to 50 degrees Celsius. What was the final temperature of the milk after heating in Kelvin? So it was heated and its temperature rose to 50 degrees. What's the final temperature of the milk? So it's just changing 50 degrees Celsius into Kelvin, right? Now this is very easy. So we know that 0 degrees Celsius is equal to 273 Kelvin. So what about 50 degrees Celsius? Then therefore you just add 273 to 50 and you'll get 323 Kelvin. Is it correct? 273 273 Kelvin, 273 plus 50, yeah, you get 323. Okay, the answer is this, but I'm not seeing it in the choices, but I think most probably this one was supposed to be written as 323 Kelvin. Okay, hopefully it's understandable. Question 19, we're heading to that part of the questions. Question 19. Question 19 is telling us that there's a cultural show that was attended by 986 male adults, and we have 2,807 female, and obviously there's 5,145 children. How many more children than adults attended the show? So now let's add up the male adults and the female. So 986, 2,807. 1,807 is going to give you 3,793 adults. So, and then let's subtract those adults with children. From the children, we take 5,145 minus 3,793 to find out how many more children attended the show. So 5,145 minus 3,793 is going to give us 1,352 more children. So that is your answer. Question 20. Question 20 is much easier because it's about my favorite topic, the equation of a line. The equation of a line was given this for x minus 3y minus 17, which is equal to 0. What's the gradient of the line? Now, for you to find out the gradient, you need to know it's in form of y equal to mx plus c. So obviously 4x minus 3y minus 17 equal to 0. Put the let's put the negative 3y to the other side, or let's write it like this as well. I wanted to write it like this so that it becomes much easier. We can write it 0 equal to 4x minus 3y minus 17. Okay, then minus 3y put to the other side so that you can have 3y equal to 4x minus 17. It became positive because once you migrate it to the other side, it's going to become positive. Then divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, and therefore y is equal to 4 over 3x minus 17 over 3. Now your gradient is basically m. The m is the one behind the x, that is the gradient. So if you look at this equation which we formed, your gradient is basically the one behind x, which is 4 over 3. So your m is 4 over 3, or your gradient is 4 over 3, which is this one. So yeah. Okay, that is question 20 done. So we're in section B, and I think I need also to kind of rest a little bit. Okay, let's continue with section B. Okay, now we have a question that says that all prime numbers between 0 and 10 are arranged in descending order to form a certain number x. Write down x. Okay, so then Roman 2, how many times is the total value of the first digit greater than that of the second digit in question 21, Roman 1 above? So we have prime numbers that is between 0 and 10. The prime numbers that we have include 2. 1 is not a prime number. Now, prime numbers are numbers that only have 2 factors. That is, it can divide by itself and 1. So if you take an example like 2, 2 can be divided by 2 and also 1. 3 is also a prime number. 1 is not a prime number because it just has 1 factor. At least it should have 2 factors, and it shouldn't have more than 2 factors. So we have 2, we have 3, we have 5, we have 7, and not 9. Many students confuse they confuse prime numbers with odd numbers. 9 is not a prime number because it has more than 2 factors. You can either divide by 3 or 1 or itself, which is 9. So in descending order that is from the largest to the smallest, the largest being 7, followed by 5, followed by 3, then 2. So that is your answer to Roman 1. So let me just write it here. 7, 5, 3, 2. Okay, that is Roman 1. Roman 2, how many times is the total value of the first digit greater than that of the second digit in question 21, Roman 1 above? So if you look at the first digit and the second digit, the first digit being 7, so its total value is 7,000. The second digit being 5 is total value, since it's in the hundreds position, so it's going to be 5 times 100, which will give you 500. So the 7 is in the thousands place value, and therefore 7 times 1,000 gives you 7,000, and 5 is in the hundreds place value, therefore 5 times 100 gives you 500. Now, how many times is the total value of the first digit greater than that of the second digit? So therefore we're going to use 7,000 divide by 500 to find out how many times is it bigger. So let's see what will be your answer. It's going to give us 14 times. That is the answer to this question, which is 14. Okay. Question B, another number y is formed by writing all the square numbers between 0 and 10 in ascending order. Write down y. So let's write down y. So is formed by writing all square numbers. Now square numbers are like, for example, 1 times 1 gives you 1, 2 times 2, 2 squared, that one gives you 4, 3 squared gives you 9, 4 squared gives you 16. So 16 is greater than 10, and therefore we're not going to take it. So the square numbers are the answers after squaring 1 or 2 or 3. So the square numbers that range from 0 to 10 is 1, 4, 9 only. And they're telling you that you wrote it in ascending order, that is from the smallest to the largest. So the smallest being 1, then 4, then 9. So the number or the y value is 149. Now find the value of x minus y. So you take the value of x, which is this one, 7532, minus the y value, because this is the y and this is the x, so x minus y. So you take minus 149. Let's see how much it gives us. 12 minus 9 gives us 3. I borrow 1, 4. 12 minus 4 gives us 8. 4 minus 1 gives us 3, 7. And that is your answer. So yep, very, very easy. Now write down or write the number formed in B Roman 2 above. Okay, write the number formed in B Roman 2 above in words, and that is this is 7,383. Remember, it's 7383. So in words, it's going to be 7,000, or 7 is in the thousands position. 7,000. The 3 is in the hundreds, so 383. 383. Sorry, and 8. Okay, 3. That's done. Let's go to question 22, which is this one. Okay, and what does question 22 say? Question 22 here. The 3 bells ring at intervals 6 minutes, 5 minutes, and 8 minutes, respectively. If they ring at 9:15 a.m., find the time they had rang together again. So 6 minutes, 5 minutes, and 8 minutes. So obviously, you're going to find the LCM of 6, 5, and 8. So let's find it out. So we divide by 2 first to give you 3, 5, and 4. Then divide by 2 to give you 2, 5, and 3. Then divide by 2 once more to give you 1, 5, and 3. Then divide by 3 to give you 1, 5, and 1. Then divide by 5 to give you 1, 1, 1. So you get 2 cubed times 3 times 5. So 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8 times 3 times 5. Okay, which will give you 120 minutes. So 120 minutes, if you convert it into hours, you divide by 60, and we're going to get how many hours? 2 hours. Sawa, kama uko na minutes, ukitaka convert into hours, just divide by 60, because 1 hour gives you 60 minutes. Now, they're telling you if they ring at 9:15 a.m., find the time they had a ring together again. That is, you find the time they will ring again. Okay, so you therefore add 9:15 to the 2 hours, and you're going to get 11:15 a.m. By the way, is it the correct answer? No, because you're told if they ring at 9:15 a.m., find the time they had ring together. That is, I think, the past. Watafuta time kabla hijafika hiyo 9:15, which one was the first ringing? Well, what time? So you basically take 9:15 minus the 2 hours, and therefore you're going to get 7:15 a.m. Tamam. So somehow got confused a bit, but this is the answer. Now let's go to question 23. Now 3 boys shared some money. The youngest got a half in this question. The youngest got a half of it. The next got 1/9. The eldest got the remainder. What fraction did the eldest receive? Okay, so the youngest in total got 1/12. The eldest, obviously being the eldest, is going to get the more. No, sorry, the next got 1/9. The eldest got the remainder. So that's I think the middle son. So you take first 1/12 plus 1/9. Obviously, the remainder, or the LCM of 12 and 9 is supposed to be, is it 24? 12 times, no, it's 36, because if you take 9 times 4 gives you 36, and 12 times 3 gives you 36. So 36 divided by 12 gives you 3. So this is 3 times 1, 3. 6 divided by 9, which is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Basically, you take this, divide by this, then multiply to this. So you're going to get 3 plus 4 to be 7/36. Okay. Now, what is the remainder? Basically, the whole amount is supposed to be 36/6 minus it by 7/36 is going to give you 36 minus 7 is equal to 29/36. Tamam. So that is the fraction that the eldest son got, 29/36. Now, if the eldest boy got, that is question Roman 1. Let's go to Roman 2. The eldest boy got 2,900 and its fraction was 29/36. what was the original sum of money, right? So basically we're searching for the 36 over 36. So you take 2,900 times 36 over 36 times 36 over 29. Okay, so this cancelled out, this cancelled out. 29 goes in 2,900. 100 times 36 is 3,600 shillings. So that is the answer. Okay, so let's try it here. Shillings. Now question 24, let me use here this space here. Question 24, in a school election, 4 candidates contested for the position of president, and there were 2,000 registered voters, but only 90% of them turned up to vote. Okay, so 2,000 were registered voters, but only 90% of them turned up to vote. Okay, so 90% of them turned up to vote, and that is the problem of many people in Kenya. Utaenda utapiga fujo, lakini wakati wa kura tutapotea. So 90% of 2,000, which is going to be how much? 90 times 20, 1,800. So 1,800 voters turned up. Okay, turned up to vote. So how many students casted their votes? 1,800 students. Now the first candidate got 200 more students than the second candidate. So that is question A. Let's go to question B. The first candidate got 200 more votes than the second candidate. So let's assume there's the first, there's the second, and I think there's the third. The third candidate got 150 fewer votes than the second candidate, while the fourth candidate, there's also the fourth, while the fourth candidate got 100 votes. How many votes did the winning candidate get? So let's start with the fourth one. The fourth one got 100 votes, right? Now they're telling you that the third candidate got 150 fewer votes than the second candidate. So the third candidate got 150 fewer votes than the second candidate. So I'm not sure. Okay, but for now, let's make it have x. Okay, so let's do this. So let's say if this is the second candidate has x votes, then the first candidate got x plus 200 more votes than the second one, and the third one got 150 fewer votes. So it's going to be x minus 150. So if you add them up, it's going to add up to 1,800. Let's say x plus 200 plus x minus 150 plus 100 is going to give you a total of 1,800 voters. So x plus x plus x gives you 3x. 200 minus 150 is 50. 50 plus 100 is 150. Is equal to 1,800. Put the 150 to the other side, minus 150. 1,800 minus 150 is going to give you 1,650 equal to 3x. And then divide by 3. Divide by 3 is going to give you I think 550. 550. So the second person, so let's say the second person got 550 votes. The first person got 200 more votes, so it's going to get 550 plus 200, which is 750. The third one got 550 minus 150, which is 400. So obviously the one who got 750 is the winning candidate. So 750 votes. Now question 25. A straight line with an equation 5x plus 3y. Question 25. a straight line with an equation of 5x plus 3y is equal to 15 crosses the x-axis and y-axis at A and B respectively. Determine the coordinates of A and B. Okay. Now, if it crosses the x-axis, it's called the x-intercept. Okay. If it crosses the y-axis, then basically it's called the y-intercept. So your x-intercept, let's search for each one of them. Let's search for x and let's search for y. So x-intercept is when your y is equal to 0. So if your equation is written like this, so where there's y value, you just replace it with 0. So 3 times 0 plus 5x, which is equal to 15. So this will give you 0. So it'll just remain with 5x equal to 15. And if you divide by 5, divide by 5, your x-intercept is going to be 3. Okay. So let's go to the y-intercept. Then the y-intercept is when x equal to 0. Because if you look at it, the y-intercept, the x value is usually 0, but the y coordinate is basically a number. So looking at our previous equation, which is this one, where there's x, you'll insert 0 plus 3y is equal to 15. So this gives you 0 plus 3y is equal to 15. Divide by 3. Divide by 3y is equal to 5. So that is the y-intercept. So basically, let's write here. So the x-intercept, which is A, is supposed to be 3, 0. That's the x-intercept. B, which is your y-intercept, is supposed to be 0, your y, which is 5. Basically, that is the answer to this question. Now, let's go to the other question. I think, yeah, question 26. Question 26. A positive 2-digit number is such that the sum of the digits is 7. Okay. When the digits are interchanged, the new number exceeds the original number by 45. Form the equations and solve them simultaneously to get the original number. So, a positive 2-digit number, that is the x and the y. So okay, so such that the sum of the digits, let's say if one digit is x, the second digit is y, the sum of it is going to give you 7. Now, what is the value of the digit in terms of algebra? So the value of the digit is supposed to be 10x plus y always, and that is the original value. Okay, you might be asking yourself, nimempata wapi 10x plus y? Normally ukiandika 73, let's take an example. This is not part of the question. How do you get 73? So utachukua 7 times 10 because it is in the tens value, plus 3 times 1, which is in the y value. So it's the same thing. So if we don't know the first digit and assume it to be x, and the second digit you assume it to be y, is therefore going to give you 10x plus y. Right. Now, when you interchange it, it means the y value will go to the tens digits, and therefore you have 10 times y, which is 10y, and the x value will go to the ones digit to give you x times 1, which is just x. So this is the new value. Okay. Now, you've been told when the digits are in interchange, the new number exceeds the original number by 45. Now, the original number is 10x plus y. If you add 45 to it is when you get the new number, because the new number is greater by 45. So let's collect the like term. Now, let's say minus 10y minus 10y minus x, and this gives you on the right side 0. This one will give you plus 45. 10x minus x will give you 9x. Y minus 10y will give you minus 9y plus 45. Now you can move the 45 to the other side of the equation to give you 9x minus 9y equal to negative 45. You can simplify the equation by 9 and 9 to give you x minus y, also here by 9, equal to negative 5. So that is the second one, and this is the first one. Now let's take this two. Let's take x plus y equal to 7, and the other one x minus y equal to -5. X minus y equal to -5, and use simultaneous equation for such a question. So this is question Roman 1, Roman 2. Now both of them have positive, and therefore we'll use subtraction sign. S, same sign, subtract, different signs, add. X minus x will give you 0. Y minus -y. Remember, it's y minus -y to give you y plus y, which is plus 2y. And then 7, okay, minus -5, 7 plus 5, which is 12. This gives you 12. Okay, hopefully it's understandable till there. So then divide by 2, y is equal to 6. So yep, so your answer is that's just y value. Now let's go and find the x value. That the x value from the equation, x plus y, you said is equal to 7. Now we know the y value, so you say x plus 6 is equal to 7. Put the 6 to the other side, which gives you 7 minus 6 to be 1, and therefore x is equal to 1. Now the value of the digit we said is 10x plus y, and therefore you take 10 times 1 plus y, which is 6. 10 plus 6 is 16. Okay, or you can just rearrange it and write 1 and then 6. So this is the value itself. Okay, so we've formed equation and we solved them simultaneously. So the original number is 16. You can look at it. If you add 1 and 6, it gives you 7. If you interchange it, let's say 16, you interchange them, you get 61. So now 61 minus 16 will give you 45. So very, very easy. Now let's go to another question, which is question 27. Very, very easy question. Now question 27 is asking you that a school keeps records of books borrowed by classes. The matrices below represents the number of English, Swahili, and science books borrowed. We have the matrix for A, we have the matrix for B, and also the matrix for C. Now question A, find A plus C, and question B, find A minus B plus C. Okay, now the matrix for A is 3, 4, 6, 2, 5, 7. That's the matrix for A, which is supposed to be added to the matrix for C. And the matrix for C is 1, 0, which is this one, -7, -2, 3, and -9. Okay, now you're just supposed to add. So 3 plus 1 will give you 4. 4 plus -7 will give you -3. 6 plus 3 will give you 9. 2 plus 0 will give you 2. 5 plus -2 will give you 3. 7 plus -9 will give you -2. So that is the answer to question A. Question B. How about question B now? Question B, you've been told A minus B plus C. Now let's go step by step. Let's find for A minus B first. So A minus B is going to be A, which is 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, that is A minus the B. Minus the B, which is -2, 6, -4, 6, -8, and 5. Okay. So now let's find the answer to this first. So A minus B, 3 minus -2. Remember, it's 3 minus -2, which eventually becomes 3 plus 2. Okay, 3 plus 2 to give you 5. So this gives you 5. 4 minus 6 is going to give you -2. 6 minus negative 4 is going to give you 6 plus 4, which is 10. 2 minus 6 is going to give you minus 4. 5 minus negative 8 is supposed to be 5 plus 8, which is 13. And 7 minus 5 is going to give you 2. So that is not the answer. So whatever answer that we got here, supposed now to be added to C. So 5, negative 4, negative 2, 13, 10, and 2. And that is the answer to A minus B added to C. So C is supposed to be 1, 0, negative 7, negative 2, 3, and negative 9. So let's add them up. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6. Negative 2 plus negative 7 is negative 9. 10 plus 3 is 13. Negative 4 plus 0 is negative 4. 13 plus negative 2 is supposed to give you 11. And 2 plus negative 9 is negative 7. And that is the answer to this question that we have here currently. So very, very easy. I think my laptop is going to die. Let me just put the charger on. Okay, I'm done. So hopefully that is understandable. So yeah, now let's go to the other question, which is question 28. Hopefully we're winding up. There's many questions. There are many questions, but hopefully we'll finish it on time. Question 28. Now question 28, you've been told to express. Okay, to express that is 3.5, which is recurring in the form of A B over C, which is very easy. Now we say that we can represent this one to be any letter, let's say X, which is equal to 3.555 recurring, and then we have 10x, which will give you 35.555 recurring. So we'll check 10x. Since the decimals here are alike, so we'll subtract both of them. 35.555 minus x, which is equal to 3.555. So if you subtract the two, 10x minus x will give you 9x, and 35 minus 3 will give you 32. Then divide by 9, x is going to give you 32 over 9. Now 32 over 9 in terms of mixed fraction, 9 goes into 32 3 times, giving you a remainder of 5. If I'm not wrong, 5 really. 32 divided by 9, yes. So it's going to be 3/5 over 9, and that is your basically that is your answer. Now let's go to question 29. Very easy question. It's asking you that it will take 30 men 16 days to dig a trench, which is 480 meters long. Find how many more men will be required to dig 720 meter long trench in 20 days. So we have, let's say we have days, of number of men, we have the length of the trench. So basically it's going to take 16 days for 30 men to dig 480 meter trench. And then you are being asked, what about find the number of men who will be required to dig 720 meters in 20 days. Very easy. But remember how many more men, not how many men. So above the question mark we have 30 times. Now we will assume this thing is not there. Okay, it's not there, and so you just do something like this, and with a feature, and then you'll assume there's just 1 meter and 1 meter. So you ask yourself, if 30 men can dig 1 meter trench in 16 days, okay, how about in 20 days? How many more men will you require? Will you require many men or less men, or just 1 meter trench? Right, if you use more days, then how many more men will you require? So obviously, if you use more days, means that you require less men, because more men will mean you'll take fewer days, but less men will mean more days. So obviously, you're going to take fewer men, which is 16. So between 16 and 20, which one is smaller? 16 over 20. And then the second step is when now you highlight this one and assume there's just 1 day, 1 day. And then you ask yourself, 30 men usually take 1 day to dig 480-meter trench. Will you require more men? How many more men will you require to dig 720-meter trench? Will you require more men or less men? Because the trench is lengthier, and therefore you're going to require more men, and therefore between 720 and 480, which one is higher? 720 divided by 480. Okay, so 0 cancels out, 0 cancels out, 2 goes into 16 8 times, 0 cancel out, 0 cancel out, 48 how many times? No, divide by 3, 3 goes into 48 16 times, goes here into once. 72 divided by 16, nope. 8 goes into 16 2 times, and 72 divided by 2 gives you 36 men. So you require 36 men for this job to be done. But how many more men do you require? Is when you take 36 minus the original men, which is 30 men, you require 6 more men. And that is your answer, 6 more men. Okay, let's go to question 30. Question 30. Question 30. Yeah. Now, question 30 is saying that a metal box with a cross-section area of 44 centimeters square. So cross-section area 44 centimeters square has a mass of 5.06 kg, and the density of the bar is 2.3 grams per cubic centimeter. Find the length in centimeter of the metal bar. Find the length in centimeter of the metal bar, which is very, very easy. Now, we know that volume, if you've been given mass and density, then volume is equal to mass over density. Okay, and how do you know that? It's through that diagram that we have here. If the up is mass, down is supposed to be density and volume. So if you're searching for volume, then you take mass over density. So your mass, since we're dealing with a surface area that has centimeter square, it's better to deal with grams per cubic centimeter. So let's convert the mass into the kg into grams. So multiply it by 1,000, because 1 kg goes gives you 1,000 grams. So 5.06 times 1,000 going to give you 5,060 grams. So your mass in terms of grams, and then density. So you take mass, which is 5,060 grams, divide by density, which is 2.3 grams per cubic centimeter. 5,060 divided by 2.3 is going to give you 2,200 cubic centimeter. Now, but we also know that for you to get volume, you take cross-sectional area times length. But we don't have the length. We're searching for the length. So if you want to find the length, we basically take the volume divided by the cross-sectional area. Okay. So utachukua volume divided by area. So your volume being 2,200 divided by the area, which is 44 centimeter square. Okay. So 2,200 divided by 44 is going to give you 550 centimeter. That is the length of the metal bar, 50 centimeter. Now let's scroll down a bit. Now let's continue with the other question. I think we've used the space. Let's use this. Now you have a prism, question 31. You have a prism that looks like this. Okay. Now let's say this. You have a prism that looks like this. And we know that this is 5 centimeter, this is 13 centimeter, this is A, this is F, this is D, C, and E. So this is 30 centimeter. So calculate the surface area of the prism. So this is a right angle triangle. So how do you find the area of this triangle? Right. So basically, we find the area of how to find the area of the prism. Now, basically, what you need to find first is this height. And how do you find the height? We take the Pythagoras theorem, which is c squared minus b squared. You take the hypotenuse squared minus this base squared, then square root it. So you just take 13 squared minus 5 squared is going to give you a squared, but then square root to give you a only. So 13 squared minus 5 squared, square root it is going to give you 12 centimeter. Okay, as your height or your a. So this is 12 centimeter. Now let's find out the area of that triangle. And the area of that triangle is given by a half base height, but then times 2 because there are two triangles there. So a half times your base being 5 times your height, which is 12, then multiply by 2 to give you the area of both the triangles, because we have two triangles, this one and this one. So it's going to give you 5 times 12, 60, 60 times 2, 120, divide by 2, 60 centimeters square. Now we still have other shapes. We have three triangles. And let me use a highlighter. We have this. We also have this. And we also have this. Okay. And each one of them has its own length and width. Come on. So yeah. So let's say for the first triangle, which is the bottom one, it has a length of 30 and a width of 5. So obviously, if you take 30 times 5, it's going to give you 150 centimeters square. For the second triangle, it's supposed to give you, which is on the side, a length of 30 and a base of 12. So 30 and 12, so which is 30 times 12, which gives you 360. Basically, whatever we're doing here, the size that we got from the triangle, the width, okay, or the width of different rectangles there. So we have the last rectangle that is inclined, the green one, which is this. We have a length of 30 and the width of, is it 13? It's 13. Is it 13? Yes, it's 13. 5, 12, 13. So you do 30 times 13, which will give you 390. So add all of these three up, add them up. So you take 150 plus 360 plus 390, which will give you 900 centimeter square. Okay, that is the total area. After getting the total area, you're supposed to add to the two triangles as well, which is 900 plus 60 to give you now 960 centimeter square. That is the answer now, 960 centimeter square. Now you have another question, that is question 32. Now question 32, a businessman bought 2 bags of maize at the same price. On arrival at his business premises, he discovered that one was higher quality than the other. He sold the higher quality of a bag of maize at 1,040 shillings. So the higher quality was sold at 1,040 shillings. Okay. and made a profit. So he made a profit from the higher quality, and obviously, but they bought it. The buying price is, let's say it's X shillings. Okay, and the other one, the low quality, he sold. He made a loss by selling the low quality bag of maize at 880 shillings. Okay, that's the that's the first quality. This is the second quality. But again, he made a loss, but the buying price is still X shillings. Okay, given that the profit is 3 times the loss, calculate the buying price, which is very, very easy. Now, how do you get profit when you're selling something? Your profit is basically your selling price minus your buying price. So if we're to look at the selling price was 1,040 minus your buying price, which is X. That is your loss. How do you get, that's your profit, sorry. How do you get loss? You take your buying price minus your selling price. So your buying price being X minus the selling price, which is 808. Now the profit, we've been told the profit is 3 times the loss. So 3 times the loss will give you the profit. So now we know the profit, the expression for the profit is 1040 minus X is equal to 3 times the loss, and the loss expression for the loss is X minus 880 shillings. So 1040 minus X is equal to 3 times X, 3X. 880 times 3 is going to give you minus 2,640. Now bring this together. Let's put the negative 2,640 to the other side and the negative X to the other side. Now if you put negative 2640 to the other side, is going to give you plus 2640. And if you put negative X to the other side, it's going to give you plus X. And therefore you'll get 4X, which is equal to 2640 plus 1040, which is 3680. Then divide by 4, and therefore X is equal to 3680 divided by 4, is going to give you 920 shillings. That is the buying price, by the way. So you got the buying price because say X to be 900 to be the buying price, so 920 shillings. Okay, you can confirm, by the way, and see. You can confirm if your buying price now is 920, your profit is going to be 140 minus 920, which is supposed to be not 140 but 1040 minus 920, which is 120. So your profit is going to give you 120 shillings. The loss, obviously, 920 minus 880, so it's going to give you 920 minus 880, loss of 40 shillings. If you look at it, the profit is 3 times the loss. Okay, so very, very easy. Now let's go to the other question. I think I can scroll. Now question, this is question 33 about school fees. Now question 33, school fees charged in 3 junior schools is compares as follows. School A charges 3 over 4 of fees charged in school B. Okay, and school B charges 3 over 4 of whatever is charged in school B, and school B charges twice the fees charged in school C. And if school C charges 12,000 shillings, okay, express fees charged in 3 schools in the ratio A to B is to C. Now we know whatever school C charges is 12,000 shillings. So school B charges 2 times whatever is charged in school C. So it's going to be 2 times 12,000, which eventually will give you 24,000 shillings. And now school A charges 3/4 of whatever charge is charged in school B, which is 3 over 4 times 24,000. So by 4, 1, by 4, 6,000. 3 times 6,000 is 18,000. So we got the fees in A, in B, and in C. So A charges 18,000, B charges 24,000, okay, now, and C charges 12,000 shillings. Now let's find the ratio. We simplify the zeros and we're going to get 18 to 24 to 12, and then divide by 6, which is 3, 4, and 2, and I think that is your answer. Till there, I think you've understood it. So the ratio of A is to B is to C is 3 is to 4 is to 2. Divide by 6, 3, divide by 6, 4, divide by 6, 2. Down. Now, question 34. Okay, question 34 is telling us to form a compound inequality and represent your solution on a number line. So we have -6, which is less than 3x plus 3. Okay, let's form. Okay, and obviously let's solve this first. -6 goes to this side, or let's put 3 to the side so that the 3x becomes positive. So -6 plus 3 becomes -3, less than 3x. And -6 minus 3 will give you -9, less than 3x. And divide by 3, divide by 3, x is greater than -3, or -3 is less than x. That is first. The second one, obviously, 14 minus 3x greater or equal to 2. So obviously put the -3x to the side so that the -3x becomes positive, and the other side becomes -2. So 14 minus 2 greater or equal to positive 3x. This will give you 12 greater or equal to 3x. And divide by 3, divide by 3, x. Okay, 4 is greater or equal to x. And therefore your compound inequality will look like this. X, you'll write this way. Okay, the lowest number is -3, the highest number is 4, but make sure you write this equal sign because of this. So yeah, but now you've been told to represent your solution on a number line as well. So let's draw the number line. So let's assume this is -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. -3 is here, but we don't shed it. And 4 is here, but we shed it because of the equal sign. And the range should be from -3 to 4, and write the compound inequality if possible. That is your solution. Okay, hopefully that is understandable. Once again, question 35. Okay, 35. Question 35. Without using a table or a calculator, evaluate this question. That is cube root 1.90 times 0.032 times 0.08 over 20 times 0.0038. If you look at the decimals, we choose the highest one, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7. So you multiply by 1, that is 10 million. Okay, that is 10 million. Yes, 10 million. So now if you do that, and obviously also you multiply by 10 million here. So let's see how much is going to give us. Let's see how much is going to give us. So the above one is going to be 190 times 32 times 8, because you remove all of it. For the other one, you remove 4, and you're going to get 38, and then you'll have 20, obviously, and you remain with 1,000. in it. So yeah, but remember there's still the cube root. Okay, now let's go slowly. This and this cancel out. By 2 1, by 2 16, okay, by 2 19, by 2 4, 19 goes into 19 once, and as a result 16 times 4 gives you 64 over 1000. And now you just find the cube root of it. Cube root of 64 is 8, and the cube root of 1000 is 10, and therefore your answer is 0.8. So that is the answer without using any mathematical table, but you can confirm using your calculator just in case, and you're going to get oh sorry, the cube root of 64 is not 8. It's supposed to be 4, because 4 times 4 times 4 gives you 64. So your final answer should be 0.4, not 0.8. I was just in a rush. Okay, so yeah, that's the answer. Let's look into question 36. The table below shows the number of students who were absent from a class in a particular week. Okay, a particular week. So we have the days, which are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And absentees are 4, 2, 5, 2, 7. The question is asking you what's the model number of absentees. Question B, calculate the mean number of absentees for the week. And question C, draw a bar graph to represent this information. Now, what's the model number of absentees? The one that appears mostly, or the frequently appeared number, is the model number. So the model number is 2, because 2 appears twice in a week. So that is 2. Calculate the mean number of absentees for the week, and therefore we're going to take 4, add to 2. So take the total of from Monday to Friday, 4 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 7, divide by the number of days is 5 days, because from Monday to Friday those are just 5 days. So 4 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 7, that gives you 20. And if you take 20 divided by 4, it gives you 4. So that is 4. Question C, draw a bar graph to represent this information. Draw a bar graph to represent this information. Now, don't have something to draw, but I'll just give you how it's drawn, or tell you how it's drawn. So under here we have the days, which is Monday, and then Tuesday, skip like 1, so it should be like this, and then this is Tuesday. Then we have for Wednesday, okay, Thursday, and Friday. So Thursday and Friday. I'm skipping one box each. So this, and this, and this. Okay, and then the frequency, or the absentees. Now you draw it here, and here just the days. And absentees, it can be like this way, 1, 2, or let's write it this way, 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Okay, we have absentees. So we have on Monday we have 4. On Tuesday we have 2. Okay, On Wednesday we have 5, so it's between 4 and 6. On Thursday we have 2, so it's here. Okay. And Friday we have 7, so it's in between. That is from here to here. Now remember, the widths should be the same. So if it's like that's just sketching, but the width should be the same. If you used like one box, here should be one box, one box, one box, one box. If you use 2 boxes, then 2 boxes, 2 boxes, 2 boxes, 2 boxes, and in between them just skip a box or 2. So that is supposed, but use your ruler, and obviously use a ruler. If you have a compass, use it just in case. So that is how it's drawn. Now for question 37, okay, for question 37, but by the way, you don't need even to skip the boxes. You can opt to just draw it this way. Okay, like for example, this is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday, we have Thursday, and we have Friday. So it can look like this as well to you. 4, 6, and 8. And 8. So 4 somewhere here. Then we have Tuesday 2. Somewhere here. Wednesday we have around 5. Somewhere here. Thursday obviously we have 2. And Friday we have 7. Is around there. So yeah, you can opt to draw it like this rather than skipping. I think this is the best one than the one that you used to skip. Okay, now for question 37, I'll give you as a homework. Try it out. If you get the answer, then please tell me, but I think I'll create a separate video to show you how you draw a circle that touches the vertices, or touching the sometimes touching the vertices, touching the size of the triangle, and etc. Come on. But for now, let's head to question 38. Okay. Now for question 38, which is very, very easy, you've been told the size of interior angles of a regular polygon is 120 degrees. Find the number of sides of the polygon and deduce its name. Okay. So deduce its name. Okay. Now we know that interior plus exterior gives you 180 degrees. So your interior, you don't know the you know the interior. So if you want to get the exterior, you take 180 minus the interior. So 180 minus the interior, which is minus 120, is going to give you 60 degrees. But we've been asked to find the number of sides and not the exterior angle. So if you want to get the number of sides represented by n, you take 360 divide by exterior angle. So you take 360 divide by exterior, which is 120 degrees, which will give you 3. Okay, so sorry, divide by exterior, which is 60. Confused. So it's going to give you 6. So yeah, so 6 sides. Your n is 6 sides, and the polygon is called hexagon. Hexagon is a polygon with 6 sides. Okay, so the last question, is it the last? Yes. Question 39. This is the last question, and the question is telling you about a cost of the cost price of a TV is 25,000 shillings. Okay, 25,000 shillings is value depreciated, so the rate of depreciation is 4% every year. Find its value after 3 years. That is n to be 3 years. This is very easy. You'll use the formula for you to get amount. You take P principal times 1 minus r over 100 power n. Our principal is basically 25,000 shillings times 1 minus 4% power n, which is power 3. Let's see how much it gives us. 25,000, 1 minus 4% is 96%, okay, which is 0.96 power 3. And the last, now the answer to this question is supposed to be 22,118.40 Kenya shillings. But to the nearest shilling is supposed to be 22,180 Kenya shillings. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, okay, and share it to your friends. Okay, let me write the answers here. Share it to your friends, subscribe if you're a grade 9 student, you want tuitions. That is, we are doing tuitions on Fridays, Saturday and Sundays. Those are 3 days online classes. So 3 days, very, very effective days. So if you want those online classes tuition, kindly reach out to me through this number 0797 550885. Wherever you are, we will teach you, whether it's pre-technical, integrated science, or math. So don't miss out on this opportunity. By the way, don't miss out on this opportunity. The tuition fee is very negotiable. I don't charge much. Hata labda waweza kuwa walipa 1,500, something like that. But it's very, very cheap. So yeah, again, we'll hook up through this number. So yeah, let's meet up in another lesson, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this channel.